covering the WNBA has to be the most stressful thing in the world. It's a weird space, an honestly weird space to be in. You got, of course, on the screen you see Jemele Hill. You also see Caitlin Clark, and of course, if you see Jemele Hill on my screen, you know that it is because she said something ridiculous. Something ridiculous that everybody's chewing her up for, that didn't make any sense at all. But yet, in the video I'm about to show, he has the nerve to call people stupid. And the scary thing about it is, in her mind, she's right. She was on Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe's podcast, and she had this to say, of course, about Caitlin Clark, because they always got something to say about Caitlin Clark, the woman who took this league to another level, the woman who is the reason that people are still watching the Lynx versus Liberty WNBA finals, even though Caitlin Clark is not in these WNBA finals. But anyway, let's get to Jemele Hill, as she say what she say about Caitlin Clark. Also, Breanna Stewart is centered around this conversation as well. So let's get to it.
And then something that is very minor, what I consider to be minor, all of a sudden becomes a very big deal. Like, yes, I mean, Breanna Stewart won 4 national titles. So, yeah, she's allowed to have the opinion that, yes, you gotta have a title.
Yeah.
You need to win in order to be in my group. Okay.
Exactly.
Like that is not a controversial opinion. That's not a disrespect to Caitlin Clark. That is simply her opinion. And once again, how much do we see this debated on the men's side? Like literally all the time. Okay. The ring conversation is the most dominant conversation in men's sport. But certainly when it's in the field of women, it's about pettiness and jealousy. I was like, guys, we got to get smarter than this. That is my hope. But unfortunately, you know what I mean? It's literally. Like, unfortunately, there were just so many moments with the overall coverage where I was like, oh God, the stupid people won. This is just,
I know. And we didn't have enough. And the issue is we don't have enough of the smart people, meaning the people that are like tapped in, clued in, have research, have been covering the WNBA to offset that. That's something we've talked about a lot, just that ecosystem of not having the offset to be like, no, slow down, calm down.
So you heard what they had to say. You heard what Jemele had to say. You saw the laughs and giggles from Sue and Megan. First of all, they went to UConn. Breanna Stewart did. Every woman who's played basketball at UConn has won a national championship. The most stacked, successful women's collegiate team, or even just collegiate in general, in college and collegiate sports history. The woman whose podcast you were on went to UConn and won like 2 national championships. Sue Bird. Caitlin Clark not winning in college or not having rings doesn't mean anything. It does not take away from Caitlin Clark, and she still has the right to say whatever she wants. Even though she didn't win, she stayed home in Iowa and took that team, a women's team that no one has ever talked about, to 2 straight national championships. Unfortunately, she ran up against 2 powerhouses, LSU and especially South Carolina. But you talking about college rings. Like, need I remind you, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won 6 NBA championships. That's the same amount as Michael Jordan. Now, he did win less final MVPs with just 2. Played like 20 years. And when you talk about the GOAT conversation, no one says that Kareem is better than Mike, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has not only 6 NBA championships, but wait for it, 3 college national championships in 4 years. He three-peated in college. Who three-peats in college? And he was the most outstanding player in all three of them championship games. But no one says Kareem is the GOAT because of those championships. No one puts him over Jordan, even though he has the same amount of rings. He has had the most successful NBA career of anybody. Kareem. Even LeBron, I still put him over LeBron as the greatest NBA career. And even overall basketball, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. No one has had an overall more successful basketball career than Kareem. But you talking about college rings, and you said, oh, nobody talks today. This is the center of the men's game. Nobody talks about college rings in the men's game. What you did in college is very commendable, but nobody brings that over the GOAT debate and talk about if somebody can talk or not, if they don't or do have, if they do or don't have college championships. Because if we're talking about college championships, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, why are they in the GOAT conversation? Their careers are just pointless then, because they didn't go to college. Charles Barkley didn't win. No, he didn't win on either level. But Michael Jordan, nobody called Mike the GOAT because he won those 6 rings with Chicago plus that national championship in North Carolina. So that was just a completely ridiculous take. More shade and hate towards Caitlin Clark. To me, it just goes to show you just how far they're willing to reach just to shade this woman. It shows, and she talked about how the women's game, it's all centered around jealousy and pettiness when it comes to fans. And I'm like, yo, you guys are the epitome of it. It's you are jealous and are petty for bringing a topic like this into a conversation. Breanna Stewart won 4 national championships in college. Nobody cares. Very successful, very commendable. When I say nobody cares, it means, what I mean is it just happened. Like, I'm sorry. It doesn't really translate to the WNBA or to the NBA if you're talking about a man. It doesn't. It doesn't really translate like that. So did Maya Moore. So did Sue Bird, who we were just talking about. I don't even know if Paige Buckner has won a championship with UConn. She may be the first player to ever not win a national championship with UConn. But anyway, those are my thoughts on that. I ain't really got nothing more to say on that. I don't want to drag this out any more than it has already been dragged out. But this was just a ridiculous take by Jemele Hill, but that is not a surprise coming from Jemele Hill. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we will see you soon. Peace.